Okay, good. Right, all the best. Okay, right. The other two not good yet. I just started doing.
Seberang. Boleh tak? Besar tak sama kan? Tingkat mah?
Besar ni malah. 268.
Oh no. Now this Property International Summit is a testimony to our motto of CAT governance: competency, accountability and transparency, the axis upon which we have administered our state. And I think it's very important that we show the full suite of offerings of houses available for sale. There's some talk that we only sell houses at 800,000 ringgit, which we know that this is not true. When we have actually built public housing, 42,000 ringgit, 32,500, and a new category for the first time in the country, that is 150,000. That has never been done before in Malaysia, and we have introduced this new offering. Of course, after 150,000, there are prices up to 200,000 and beyond. But we are offering houses at this range of prices. For those who claim that we only build houses at 800,000, unfortunately, that is a lie. But nowadays, sometimes you see academics with PhDs, with professors, and name, they can also lie to say that we only build 800,000 ringgit houses. What type of kangkong university they come from? And then they claim to be from top universities in Malaysia, and then they can make this type of factual errors and lies. I think at the rate things are going, we are becoming a country of liars, and that's very unfortunate. For instance, there's allegation that since one MDB sell land to China, what's wrong? Penang also sell land to China. And then Star today came out with an article saying that I deny that we sell land to China. We do not sell land to China. The Penang state government has never sold any land to China. We sell land to these companies from United States, China, yes, but to create manufacturing jobs. We have no sell land to China for housing as well as development projects for housing. That we have not done so. I think you look at FIZ, you look at the Batu Kawan. These are companies from the United States, basically from the United States, from Taiwan, Singapore, and of course several manufacturing companies, especially in the solar industry, from China. But this is not a real estate play. Real estate companies, I think the real estate developers know. Any real estate company from China in Penang? Not a single one. I've asked Dato' Bandar, Dato' Petaya bin Ismail, I've asked the YDP and PSP. They tell me not only they have not approved a single property development project from China, they never even seen a submission. Submission also don't have. Don't talk about approval of real estate property from China. But that's why Penang is different from other cities like KL, Johor, Negeri Sembilan, even Melaka. They got a lot of property developers from China. Here we don't have. Why? Because we think our local developers is good enough, if not better. That is why we will always try to give preference to the local developers from Malaysia. Just as when we employ workers, we employ Malaysians and PSP. We used to contract out the services cleaning services to private companies. And because the private companies want to make higher profits, they don't employ Malaysians. They employ workers from Indonesia, from Myanmar, from Bangladesh, especially from Bangladesh. And that's why they make a lot of profits. So we say that, can't you employ local workers? They say, cannot lah. Malaysian workers lazy lah. Malaysian workers don't want to do difficult jobs, dirty jobs, dangerous jobs. They don't want to go to Longkas lah. I say, betul ke? You don't pay them enough good. No, they don't want to do. You pay them, also they don't do. So okay, since you say cannot do, we try to do. So what we do is that we sack all the private companies. We take over the jobs by employing local Malaysians. Of course, you got to pay higher lah, 55% higher. That's why the FPSP profit all go down so much. But we could find the workers, 2,508 Malaysians willing to do the 3D jobs. Difficult, dirty, dangerous. And you go to Serang Pride, you think it's dirtier than before? No, it still has clean. Yes, you got to pay 27 million ringgit extra in terms of wages and salaries. Increase the salary cost by 55%. But we are paying local Malaysians. We are not paying foreigners from Bangladesh or from Myanmar or from Indonesia. We are paying local workers. So as a government, you cannot be employing local workers. And you cannot be employing foreign workers. You must employ local workers. So similarly, if we can give priority to local workers, I think we should also give priority to local Malaysian developers. That's why Penang, no China-based real estate developer in Penang. Correct or not? Correct or not? Don't say just because I thought must be true, but basis of facts. Correct or not? Not a single one. But you go to Johor, you go to Melaka, you go to Negeri, you go to KL, a lot. But in Penang you don't have. Why? Not because we are anti-Chinese, no lah, but because we are pro-Malaysian. We think that our developers, local developers, can do as good a job. Of course, there are companies from People's Republic of China, PRC, doing a lot of construction projects. Yes, Second Bridge, Mengkuang Dam, reclamation projects, under seaway tunnel. They are doing their construction projects. But in terms of housing, real estate, not a single one. Hartanah Pensyarikat, satu daripada negara China pun tak ada. Tapi sekarang dia kena kritik. Oh, dia nak cakap, oh, kita pun buat sama. No, one NDB is, this is a real estate play. That one untuk buat perumahan. One NDB jual kepada syarikat negara China, that one is a real estate play. Want to build underground city. Oh yeah. Here, we only build underground subterranean international convention and exhibition center. No underground city. Hopefully by 217, Mr. 217, 1st March, we will have an underground international convention and exhibition center. Double the size of the present Spice Arena. So you have more space to do your international property summit. Since you have been told this year the response very good, isn't it? So you need a bigger space lah. So you are waiting for the new international convention and exhibition center. And I think this summit also shows that we continue to engage with stakeholders in the property sector in Penang, from developers as well as consumers. And since there was a change of government in 2008, I think we have seen many positive changes in Penang. Basically because our emphasis on the basics, we go back to basics. We want to focus on Penang being clean, green, safe and healthy. And just based on these basic parameters, or this criteria, is Penang cleaner than before? Yes or not? Is Penang greener than before? Is Penang healthier than before? Is Penang safer than before? I think the answer to all these questions is yes. We are cleaner, greener, healthier and safer. Healthy also is why I put bicycle lanes. Safer. I think you have seen that now we are one of the safest states in the country. We are still not satisfied. We want to be the safest in Malaysia. And I think this has made Penang more attractive. More attractive for people not only to invest but people to live in. And that's why you can see that there is a rise in property prices because Penang has become more attractive. And of course, cleaner, greener, safer, healthy important, but good government also important. And I would like to say we have a good government. I believe that we got the best government in Malaysia. We have shown that every year, because of good governance and clean leadership, anti-corruption, we have shown that we can record annual budget surpluses. Every year, tiap-tiap tahun untung. Tak ni Tan Lui. No need GST also can untung. So if Penang can do it, even though we don't impose GST, why can't we do it for the entire country? And we don't have all. We have no such resources. And despite not having GST, we still pay taxes to the federal government 6.3 billion ringgit every year. At least 6.3 billion ringgit every year. We are the highest tax-paying, we are the third highest tax-paying state in Malaysia. But fortunately, we pay 6.3 billion, we only get back 2%. So not very much left, so got to depend on ourselves to try to bring about development. And that's why when we talk about the latest transformational project for Penang, which is the Transport Master Plan, to overcome our traffic congestion problems, we have no choice but to rely on land reclamation because the cost is at least 27 billion, perhaps more. And why we need to rely on land reclamation? Because the federal government doesn't want to give us back our money. So for those attending the summit, I think you are also aware, and your interaction later with Wabi Jadip and also Wabi Chow, you'll be able to understand the various guidelines that we have drawn out. They are very transparent. CAT, T transparency, and we have drawn all these guidelines, especially that we want to ensure that developers not only build houses where they can earn big profits, but also affordable housing. That is part of our common social obligation. You must build affordable housing, as I said, not only public housing, 32,000 ringgit and 72,500, but also affordable housing, anything above 72,500 but below 400,000, including 150,000, 200,000, 300,000 houses or flats. And these guidelines clearly spell out what you need to do. So in that respect, I think the private sector have joined this initiative to build affordable housing, including the new 150,000 ringgit units. I would like to commend the private sector for joining this initiative, especially in regard to the complete failure by the federal government to provide affordable housing to Penang under the various federally initiated housing programs that they've announced, but nothing has happened. I think, I'm sure Wabi Jadip will spell out in greater detail about Prima, the houses announced by Prima, but the magic show, they announced but nothing on. And we still recall like our Prime Minister Dr. Najib Tun Razak during the 2013 elections, announcing 9,999 units of affordable housing will be built in Aitam and Aiputeh constituency. That is my constituency. Well, he jaga my constituency also happy lah. But after that, nothing happened. Talk only. And this has proved to be but an empty promise. So that's why, as I said just now, we have to carry out these programs ourselves, since all these promises made by the federal government have not been fulfilled. And this summit is important because by engaging with the private sector, together with the government, we can expand and implement the public-private partnership mode, especially in enhancing the delivery system of housing, especially affordable housing to Penangites. You'll also be having a conversation with the Dato' Banda and YDP, or the president of the Serang Prime Municipal Council. So Dato' Banda, Dato' Pataya, and also Dato' Maimuna will be here later. And that's where you can interact and share our views. And you know that we are very concerned, and we do what we can in order to mitigate the effects of the downturn. We don't deny that we are facing an economic downturn. Times are hard. This year is tougher than last year, correct now? Everyone expects this year to be tougher than last year. Why not? Look at GST, everybody shake their heads. Coupled with the high depreciation of our ringgit, today don't know how much, yesterday 4 ringgit 43. True, everything grew up. Yesterday I launched the lantern, lighting 18,000 lanterns in the Jalan Raja Uda. You know, I got the most number of lanterns in Malaysia is in Butterworth. Before that, it's all sponsored by the private sector with some token contribution from me, but it's handled by the private sector in Butterworth. When they put up 15,000 lanterns, it cost them around 250,000. Now for 18,000 lanterns, it cost them 500,000. Why? Ringgit dropped 40%, but because you got to, what do you call that? Stack up the cost at every level. It goes up by nearly 100%. So for those doing business, for those not doing business, you have to understand the problems faced by businessmen. You think that the ringgit drop 40%, you pay 40% more. No. Sometimes you pay up to 100% more because the costs stack up and escalate. When you look at that, luckily at that time it was 420, 425. Now do 443. Everybody collapsed, man. Somebody never collapsed, but ringgit collapsed. I think we prefer the ringgit not to collapse. Someone can collapse, never mind. So I think that is the price we have to pay. We got high debt, high deficit, and high depreciation of ringgit. The three highs. Malaysia got three high. High debt. Now 800 billion, more than 800 billion ringgit. Federal government debt increased by nearly 300% from 2007. High debt. High deficit. They talk 3.1, 3.2% still of GDP. GDP are growing 3.2%, and high depreciation. So that's why economy is going to be very bad this year. Very tough. Luckily for Penang, we got our manufacturing sector, which is still performing well, and our tourism sector is of course growing very strongly, double-digit growth. Last year tourism good or not? Good or not? Must be good lah. Everywhere jam. Every time you get scolded, oh, jam here, jam there. So many people come, more than the previous years, correct? Of course, for those who are doing hawkers and doing food business, that's good news. Everyone very happy. But it is really a big challenge. You go and look at the airport. Airport also jam. Not the cars jam, no. People jam, no. In the airport. We have now reached capacity last year. Last year we did 6.5 million passengers, which is the capacity for our airport. Supposed to reach 6.5 million in 2020. Instead, we are now 5 years ahead of schedule. Last year already 6.5 million. So that shows the number of people coming to Penang. They also want to see the excitement, what is happening in Penang. And in fact, it is very exciting. Not only I say it, no. If I say, you say, sure lah, CM, you are selling Penang only. But it's not I am saying it. You look at internet portals like Lonely Planet. Lonely Planet says what? One of the top 10 destinations in the world to travel to is Georgetown, Penang. Number 4 lagi. Last time, hey, you got top 10, Penang. belakang kira mungkin lah. And now we are top 10. Not only Forbes, LA Times, Guardian, Independent, International New York Times, Yahoo Travel. Of course, Forbes says that we're best food lah, most best to travel, budget city, international recognition. Even when they shoot the UK, most popular UK drama film production, TV drama production now is Indian Summers. Most popular in UK, 5 million viewers, is film, in Penang Hill. And of course, we are very happy that even the King also came and visited. His Royal Highness also came. His Majesty also came and visited Penang Hill. You all got go to Penang Hill, no? Oh, no? Penang lang lah. Penang people never go to Penang Hill. Ayo, shy lah. The young people, Tuan Agong also go. Go and see what is so special about Penang Hill. And last year also, when you talk about people coming to Penang, the Chief Executive of Hong Kong, C.Y. Leong, the number one man in Hong Kong, spent his vacation where? Where? Penang lah, where lagi? First time we have the Chief Executive of Hong Kong spending his vacation in Penang. So no wonder so many people coming to Penang. And that's why you talk about manufacturing, when you talk about tourism, there's still some hope that we can manage to ride out the economic downturn. And that's why for developers, even though times are gloomy, don't be too gloomy. After all, you look at manufacturing, you look at tourism, it's still pouring in, and the state government and the local councils are assisting. When you talk about paying contributions, no need bank guarantee anymore. Corporate guarantee. Correct now? No need interest some more. So what we are saying, interest no need. No need. I say wrongly. So we are actually helping out and making it easier to reduce your cost. And what we are saying is that, of course, before you get OC, you must pay lah. At least give you 2 years grace. And then, of course, the other considerations for these payments can be made more flexible. So I would like to state that when you talk about this flexibility with corporate guarantee coupled with joint and several guarantee from directors, for certain projects we also need a registrar caveat on the land that you develop. I'm sure this is a very important savings, because you already have difficulty getting loans from a bank without the need to secure a bank guarantee. I think it will help to facilitate your financing. But of course, again, there are some areas that the federal government never help. Sometimes they don't help, never mind, make life more difficult some more. Never give us financing, never give us any assistance, never mind, delay the issuance of APDL, advertising permit and developer license. Normally 2 weeks, now take 1 year, if you're lucky. So I think the time has come for the federal government not to go and play these games. This one really like childish games, deliberately delayed. They have fulfilled the requirements. Why does the federal government, especially the Minister of Housing, Dato' Abdul Rahman Dahlan, why is he so mean, so small-minded, so mean-spirited and hard-headed, want to go and delay at least for 1 year? What is the reason and rationale? Nothing except to punish, sabotage Penang development. So he is a national economic saboteur if he doesn't want to immediately release APDL. And this is an act of treachery against Penang. And remember, Penang is part of Malaysia. If this is an act of treachery against Penang, this is also an act of treachery against the whole country. Remember, when you talk about commerce, when you talk about movement within the country, it's a basic, fundamental constitutional right. I think if we file a suit, can win. PDC almost want to file a suit, then quickly they give. Don't want to file a suit, then cannot file. Now, of course, other private developers, maybe they think easier to bully. You all should consider that if they do not want to give. But many will say they wait for a year, until they issue the APDL. But this type of economic sabotage by the Minister, nonetheless, of Housing should stop. Because I think so far, there are more than 100, I think, nearly 100. No, pending is 47. 47 pending. And I do not know what's the GDP. I think you're looking at billions and billions of ringgit. Maybe you're looking at billions for these 47 projects. So we hope that the Housing Ministry and Housing Minister would stop this economic sabotage. Never help one thing, but put up roadblocks. I think this is against the national interest. Now, finally, in my New Year's address, I said that 2016 promises to be a transformational year for Penang. Pawi Jadip also mentioned something similar when he said that 2016 is a year of delivery of housing in Penang. I think this is what we want to see, a transformational year with delivery. I think this is what Penang symbolizes. Deliver has promised. Deliver has promised. DAP lah. So therefore, when we talk about transformation, we are talking about the Transport Master Plan. The 27 billion ringgit Transport Master Plan. A 5-in-1 big bang approach towards resolving traffic congestion involving buses, taxis, cable car, water taxis, ferries, or LRT monorail. A 5-in-1 big bang approach. And it also encompasses transformation in the housing and property sector, whereby we see a realization commencing this year onwards of various people-centric policies that have been introduced by the Penang State Government last year, especially the 150,000 ringgit unit houses. Although 2015 has been challenging and 2016 will be worse, I'm confident that Penang, with our continued vision of being an international and intelligent city, coupled with CAT governance, we will be able to weather 2016 better than others. I'd just like to share you some figures of the growth in the construction sector. According to figures in the MBBP, approvals for construction projects, GDV, 2014 was 3.6 billion ringgit. For the first half of 2015, GDV of approved projects was 2 billion ringgit. So we look on a time basis, 2015 will be definitely better than 2014. 2014, 3.6 billion. 2015, first half year, was already 2 billion. And we know the second half was better than the first half. Correct or not? The second half last year was better than the first half. So we will definitely exceed 3.6 billion. That shows that the construction sector in Penang is growing and expanding. And we hope that this will be a sign that we'll be able to not only gain the confidence, but also help to generate economic growth in Penang, especially due to the current prevailing economic downturn. Penang will continue to be an attractive place to invest, basically because we run a clean government, we have a no corruption policy, and we will continue to prioritize the provision of affordable housing to Penangites with our theme of one family, one home for Penangites, where we give, as I said, a full suite of houses available to Penangites. So I want to thank everyone for coming for this summit. I want to thank you for your confidence in the Penang State Government. I believe that Penang will be able to progress despite these challenges because the Penang State Government has faith in you. You will be the solution to our problems. Thank you very much.
And Yang Berhormat Zakir Singh will be presenting, accompanied by Mr. Ong Ban Siang here.
Okay, right. The other two not good yet. I just started doing.
Tahu seberang. Boleh lah. Besar tak sama kan? Tingkat mah.
Oh no.
Now they're coming in. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to announce the royal Chief Minister of Penang, who is joining us here.